Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time again for some NFL picks and our best bets for all of our Week 17 NFL games. We have 13 games to go over. We're going to break them all down, predict the outcome, the winner, loser, final score, but we'll mainly be focusing on the best bets this video. The money line, the spread, the over-under, the Christmas games. They're in the books. We had 3 games Christmas. We have 2 games on Saturday, a buttload of Sunday games. Our typical Monday night game. We have football the entire weekend. We could not ask for more. Let's not waste any more time, guys. Help me out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below. Who do you think is going to win this game, and what's your final score predictions? Drop in the comment section. I will respond to every comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment below, and let's jump right into it. And now moving over to our Saturday doubleheader, the very first game we're going to have this coming Saturday, December 27th, 4:30 p.m. NFL Network. The 10-5 Houston Texans. We got to first give this team some props. They're on, a 5-game winning streak right now. The defense, of course, still the number 1 defense in the NFL, but the offense, slowly starting to tick their way back to high production. They're on the road versus the 11-4 LA Chargers. Both these teams perfectly situated right now for the playoffs. What they want, though, they want some momentum leading into the first playoff series. The Chargers 51.5% chance to win. The Texans 48.1. Chargers at home 1.5 point favorites. 39.5 over under with a 1.5 point favorite. What Vegas is saying is this game is practically a 50-50 split down the middle. With the fan vote, it's also practically a 50-50 split. Texans CJ Stroud playing a lot better, coming back from his injury. They have Marks. Nico Collins, a true wide receiver number 1. Houston 23.1 points a game. Throwing for 217, running for 107, giving up 16.6 points a game. That's number 1 in the NFL. This team gets after that front 7, creates a lot of havoc in the backfield. How does that Chargers offensive line hold up versus that pressure? Herbert's having a good season so far, but the offensive line has some holes. Herbert's vertically pushing the ball down the field. They need to get healthier at the running back position. They have Ladd McConkey. Harbaugh's been loving the deep vertical passing game this season, but will they have time to be able to throw on Houston? That's the massive question. Chargers 23.3 points a game, throwing for 220.2, running for 125.3, getting a 20.1 points a game. The defense is not bad. They had a really good defense last season. I think it's going to be the Texans on the road. That momentum with that defense. Defense does travel with you. Give me Houston walking away with a very hard-fought win. They win this one 23-20. 2 solid overall defenses facing off, so this is one of those games you have to be very careful when you're picking this one. The number 1 defense versus the Chargers team, who's getting better every single week. Defense starting to play better. The offense starting to play better. They're getting healthier at the running back position. But I think Houston, both these teams have momentum, both playoff aspirations, but give me Houston on the road. A little bit of a stretch here. I get it. The Texans win it. The plus 1.5, and I'm going to go with the over. And closing out our Saturday doubleheaders, this coming Saturday at 8 p.m., this one's going to be on Peacock. This 7-8 Baltimore Ravens. What really stinks about the Ravens season so far is they had Super Bowl aspirations. They had an MVP quarterback, Lamar Jackson, battling some injuries so far this season. But when this Ravens offense has been fully productive, fully healthy, they can light it up. They can score with anyone in the NFL. The problem, though, they haven't been there consistently at all this season. Sometimes they'll have 30 points. Next game, they have 14. They need to be reliable. Lamar Jackson banged up last week. Will he even be playing this season? That's a massive question mark. Obviously, he's a star MVP caliber quarterback. If you don't have your general on the field, we've seen that this Baltimore defense has also been playing better since they've had Lamar Jackson back. Without him there, they might fall back to where they were previously. They're going to be on the road here versus the 9-5-1 Green Bay Packers. The thing about Green Bay's been all over the place this season. Sometimes they look like a Super Bowl contender. Sometimes they look like they're not even going to make the playoffs. They just need to fall somewhere in the middle. Like I keep saying, just a little consistency. They had a heartbreaking loss last week. They also got Jordan Love hurt. Jordan Love in this game is questionable. If he doesn't play this game, could be Huntley, could be Malik Willis. Does it even matter right now? I want to see that Packers defense close games out. This is not a bad defense at all. They got weapons on offense. I just want to see Jordan Love play a little bit better and that defense close some games out. Green Bay 57% chance to win. Baltimore 42.7. The Packers Packers at home. This line's been moving all over the place right now. They're 3.5-point favorites, 40.5 over-under. Baltimore with all the weapons. Just think about where this team is when they're fully healthy. Lamar Jackson, he can throw for 4,000 yards. He can run for 1,000 yards, but he might not even play this game. They have Derrick Henry closing in on 1,300 yards. It's like death taxes. Derrick Henry getting 1,000 rushing yards every single season. This guy's been playing for a decade at this point, continues to stack incredible numbers. They have Flowers. They have Andrews. They have Likely. They're averaging 23.9. Throwing for 177, running for 148, giving up 23.2 points a game. The Packers, 24.3 points a game, throwing for 223, running for 122, giving up 20.1 points per game. The Packers have the better defense. I'd say even though Baltimore's scoring just a couple points less, they have the better offense when they're healthy. They're not healthy. Packers coming off of a massively disappointing loss. They got a rebound here, especially at home, Lambeau Field. Give me the Packers pulling off the upset. They win it 24-20. So I'm going to go with the Packers. They just squeak by. They end up covering the spread, and we're going to go with the over. And now moving on to our typical Sunday game. Sunday, Fox, 1 p.m., the 7 and 8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team started out the season so much praise, so much hype. Baker Mayfield, even with all the injuries, they were continuing to score points in bunches. And then the defense just continually, every single week kept getting worse and worse, giving up more points. As the Buccaneers offense got healthier, they actually started scoring less points. How that happens, I don't know. Maybe they just ran out of steam, ran out of momentum. But overall, Baker Mayfield, he's the heart and soul of the team. Where he goes, he takes the team with him. 3,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 picks. The production he put up when they didn't have their weapons to, it is amazing. They have White, they have Irving, Egbuka, Evans, Godwin. This team is healthy, and they can score a buttload of points. They're on the road versus the 6-9 Miami Dolphins. Greer's been fired. For the love of God, thank God he got fired. Should have probably been fired a long time ago. Hate to call for people's jobs, but he was easily hands down the worst GM in the country. McDaniel's probably coming back for another season. Tua has been benched, 20 touchdowns, 15 picks, god-awful numbers. I've been pretty hard on him the last couple seasons. Never thought the Dolphins should have drafted him because he never had a strong arm, never had an NFL caliber arm. It is what it is. Quinn Ewers got his first nod last week. Couple of turnovers, but obviously young rookie quarterback. Dolphins 31.3 points a game. The Bucs 68.5. Tampa Bay, 5.5-point favorites on the road, 45.5 over-under with all the weapons, 23.1 points a game, throwing for 198, running for 117, giving up 25.1 points per game. They do give up a lot of pass yards, almost 250 per game. But you're asking Quinn Ewers to go blow for blow with Baker Mayfield with that loaded Buccaneers offense. I don't necessarily like that matchup. Miami, 21.1 points a game. Throwing for 187, running for 122, giving 24.6 points a game. Options closing in on 1,300 yards. He didn't even get going till about week 8, and he completely took off. They have Waddle. Waddle has filled in perfectly for Hill, but I don't like where Miami is right now. They're probably going to have to go out after a quarterback in the draft. They might even need to move up in the draft. Give me the Buccaneers on the road, 28-23. The Buccaneers here, they're just the better overall team with, by far, the better quarterback. They're loaded with playmakers. Defense gives up some points, but Tampa Bay gets the win. They don't cover the spread, though. Give me the plus 5.5. I'm going to go with the over. 1 p.m. on Fox, the 11-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. How about this Jaguars team coming out of nowhere last year? Cohen takes over, has completely flipped this roster, completely changed the momentum of where this franchise is going. They're a playoff team right now. They might even be a Super Bowl team, but they got to keep that momentum going. They're the hot hand right now. They're on the road versus the 8-7 Indianapolis Colts. The Colts look like they would have won the division just a couple weeks ago. Number 1 offense in the NFL, top 5 defense. They lose Daniel Jones. Now everyone's just stacking the box. Jonathan Taylor having a remarkable season so far, but he has no room to run. There's, 8-9 guys stacked up in that box, shutting down the ground game. Phillip Rivers basically coming back from the dead. The guy's like 67 years old. That is sarcasm. I don't need someone dropping a comment down there saying, hey, he's only 44. I know, guys. It's a joke for those who actually thought that was serious. Phillip Rivers, though, coming back, trying to prove he still has. I don't know why he came back, but it is what it is. Good to see him back. Right now the Colts, 40.2% chance to win. The Jags, 59.5%. Jacksonville on the road. Obviously the favorite. 6.5-point favorites, 48.5 over-under. Trevor Lawrence, he has like 10 or 11 touchdowns the last 3 games. No turnovers. putting up good numbers. This is the Trevor Lawrence people wanted to see for years right now. This Cohen offense, he's really flourishing, and he's becoming a lot more decisive every single week, playing better. 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns. He also has like 400 rushing yards and like 7 or 8 rushing touchdowns. Can't knock the numbers. Etienne, 1 yard shy of 1,000, so safe to say he's going to get that. You have Washington. Good receiver. Jacoby Myers, great pickup. Brian Thomas Jr. starting to get hot. Travis Hunter, thought he was way overdrafted, but as of right now, you don't need him. That wide receiver room with Strange on top of it, they're not playing bad. On the other side, the Colts, you got Phillip Rivers, you got Taylor, 1,500 rushing yards. You got weapons, but can Phillip Rivers, this Jacksonville front seven, they get after it, they create pressure. How's that Colts offensive line going to hold up? Jags 9.5% chance to win. Colts 40.2. Jacksonville 27.3 points a game. Top 6 offense. Throwing for 218, running for 118, giving up 20.8 points a game. The number 1 rush defense in the entire NFL. 87.3 yards a game. The Colts 27.9 points a game. Throwing for 231, running for 124, giving up 23.4 points a game. They give up 251 through the air. I don't like that versus the Jags, but I think the Colts, they come prepared to play. I honestly think this game might be really close, could even be an upset, but I think the Jags pull off a close one. They win it 23-20. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they've been rolling for the last 2 months. I have them continuing to roll, but the Colts, they put up a heck of a fight. Phillip Rivers uses the experience. They put up some points. They keep the game close. Jacksonville gets the close win, but I'll go with the plus 6.5, and I'm going to go with the under. And on Fox at 1 p.m., the 3-12 Arizona Cardinals. So many injuries to the defense, to the offense, the running backs, the wide receivers. One thing that has been pretty good, Jacoby Brissett actually not playing bad football. 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks. McBride putting up the best tight end season this year, 1,100 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns. They're on the road versus the 5-10 Cincinnati Bengals. 2 weeks ago, the Bengals looked god-awful. Yes, their defense looks god-awful every single season for about the last 4 or 5 years. The offense is usually really good. They disappeared 2 weeks ago. They've showed up last game. This offense, when you have Burrow on track, and if that offensive line just somehow can give him a couple seconds to throw, that's all he needs. Give the guy 1.52 seconds. He'll find the targets. He has Brown. He has Chase. He has Higgins, one of the best wide receivers, one of the best 1-2 wide receiver combos in the NFL. But Burrow's not liking what's happening to him. The guy's getting hit a lot. The offensive line looks awful. Where's this team going? The only way for the Bengals to win is via this shootout. That's the only option they really have. That defense is so bad. Cincinnati, 65% chance to win. Arizona, 34.7. The Bengals, 7.5-point favorites. 53 over-under. Cardinals, 21.4 points a game. Throwing for 235. Running for 98. Giving up 27.6 points per game. This defense, it's really bad. But I don't think anyone's defense is as bad as the Bengals. They are bottom 2 in the NFL. Cincinnati, 23.9 points a game. Throwing for 232. Running for 89. Got to get the rush yards up. Got to take some pressure off Burrow. They're giving up 30.5 points per game. They give up 247 through the air. 156 on the ground. Their secondary is bad. That front 7 is bad. The Cardinals will be able to score some points. Might keep this one close. Everyone can score some points on Cincinnati. But I think Cincinnati, Burrow, they have to win this game. You can't have Burrow and keep losing this game. Cincinnati, they win 31-23. This is one of those games. The Bengals defense is so bad, anything can happen. Everybody put points on them. The Cardinals have the possibility to pull off the upset here because they will be able to move the ball at will versus this atrocious defense. But don't forget, Cincinnati, they still have Joe Burrow. They still have Chase. They still have Higgins. They can still score points. One of the best vertical passing teams in the NFL. Bengals get the win. They cover that large NFL spread, and I'm going to go with the over. 1 p.m. on CBS, we have the 9-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. What I like about Pittsburgh is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, the veteran, experienced quarterback. His age is getting up there, but let's call things like they are. He's having a really good season so far, playing much better than he did with the Jets last season. He doesn't have the defense to back him up no matter what. He's not, 2008, 2009 vintage Green Bay Packers Rodgers, but he's still really good. And with the experience behind him, Rodgers, he doesn't like turnovers. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks ever. He keeps the turnovers down. That really helps this team out because this is not your typical Mike Tomlin defense. What I mean by that is they're not the best defense. They do give up points, but Rodgers knows how to control time of possession, control the game clock down to the fourth quarter where they get their win. They're on the road versus the 3-12 Cleveland Browns. The Browns are pretty bad. It is what it is. The Browns, they don't play good offense. They have a very good defense, but they're on the field the entire game. They get after it. Obviously, Myles Garrett could potentially set the all-time sack record this game for a single season. But Rodgers, the guy's smart. He knows how to get out of those type of plays. He knows how to adapt, to call different plays, get out of pressures. He knows how to roll the pocket. He doesn't have the wheels like he used to. I hate to keep praising Rodgers, guys, but it is what it is. The guy's playing playoff caliber football, guiding the Steelers back to the playoffs, taking some pressure off Tomlin. Right now, Pittsburgh 71.9% chance to win. Cleveland 27.9% chance. Steelers 3-point favorites, 34.5 over under. DK Metcalf, he is suspended this game. That is a massive loss here. For some reason, they got rid of Pickens, obviously. They don't have a true great wide receiver behind him. Game long coming. They're going to have to step up to make the difference. Steelers 24.3 points a game. Throwing for 199, running for 102, giving up 23.3 points a game. The Browns, 16.4 points a game, really struggling to move the ball. Throwing for 169, running for 96.9, giving up 23.7 points a game. Shedeur Sanders, 6 touchdowns, 8 picks. He's a rookie, though. I know he has a lot of pressure hyped on him right now. But I'm buying the Steelers even without DK. Rodgers finds a way. Steelers win 24-17. This is one of those games, obviously Vegas sees a very low-scoring game. Steelers don't have the best offense, but they do have the experience, the leadership of Aaron Rodgers. That cannot be discounted. I have them winning this one on the road versus one of the best defensive front sevens in the NFL. Myles Garrett might set the sack record this game, but either way, give me the Steelers getting the win. They cover the spread, and we're going to go with the over. Ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to break this video up into 2 videos, the A, the B, part 1, part 2. There's just so many games to break down. There's so much info to go over. So this will be the end of part 1. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below. Who do you think is going to win these games? What's your final score prediction? Part 2 will be coming out right after this one, so make sure to check them all out. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel, and good luck, and have fun watching all the games.